It would be worth it.
Yeah, but I'd have to fire Ron. I'd have to get rid of him.
I'd like to see you try that too. A couple things. One, when you talked about the voters being frightened and uneasy, I'd use a different word. They were angry last night. There's just no question about it. There's a lot of anger all across the country right now. Where I agree with you is I think that the economy is the #1 issue, and where I agree with Dick Morris, which is not, it doesn't happen all that often, is that I do think that there are a lot of warning signs for the Democrats looking ahead to next year. But a couple of points about...
All right, well, wait, I don't want you to outrun your coverage here. All right, so I say they're uneasy with the leadership in the country. You say they're angry. But, all right, exactly what are they angry at?
They don't think government works right now. I think that's clear. They're angry about the economy more than anything else.
But that, the economy is not all Obama's fault, to be fair.
Well, no, but they always take it out on whoever's in power right now. That's why I think, and this is where I disagree with both you and Dick a little bit. There's an awful lot of evidence in the exit polls last night that those elections in New Jersey and Virginia were not about Obama per se. In fact, solid majorities in both states said that he was not a factor in their vote, and President Obama still has majority approval in New Jersey and right at about 50% in Virginia. But they are angry about the economy. They are unhappy about the fact that...
Oh, wait, it doesn't make sense, though. If people are angry about the economy, all right, why would they vote against John Corzine? He didn't have anything to do with the economy. He's just some pinhead who mismanaged the state.
And you look at the exit polls, and they were very, very upset about property taxes.
Well, that's a different issue than the economy. Look, Corzine is a...
taxes are connected.
This is where, you see,
Obama sucks.
This is where you're falling apart. Corzine is a classic liberal, all right? In a liberal state. He should have coasted. Obama comes in, does the big rallies for Corzine, ba. If Obama is still the messiah to a liberal state like New Jersey, Corzine wins. He's not the messiah anymore, George.
I don't disagree with that.
He's a tarnished guy now.
And there was another warning sign for the White House in those figures in both Virginia and New Jersey last night. You look at those young voters under 30. You look at African-American voters. They didn't show up. They were enthusiastic last year. They are checked out.
Well, Dancing with the Stars was on. You gotta remember.
Well, that is true. But Obama's going to need them to come back, and Democrats are going to need them to come back.
Obama might be able to get them back for Obama, but he ain't going to get them back for, some guy in Virginia who nobody ever heard of.
And the question is he going to be able to get them back for House Democrats and Senate Democrats next year when they're defending?
It depends how the country goes. Look, if they ram through this unbelievably incompetent health care bill, which I don't think they will, and the country looks at a possible, look, you heard my analysis on California, okay? That could happen here, easy, and people know it. They may not know the California analogy because I gave it to them tonight, and they maybe didn't know that was happening. But the California people have just stolen 10% of take-home pay from all the workers in that state. They've stolen it because they've mismanaged the economy so badly. That could happen at the federal level. And people, that's why I say they're uneasy. They don't have any credibility.
On health care, I think it is fraught with peril. I think there are two sides to the argument. Where I agree with you, where the potential danger for Democrats is that this bill is going to include new taxes.
Yeah,
many that are likely to fall on middle-class Americans. It's going to include a lot of Medicare cuts. That is tough to defend in an election year, especially when the benefits haven't been felt yet. That is a real danger. On the other hand, you used the word when you were talking to Dick a minute ago. You talked about chaos. And I do think there's a feeling in the country that Washington can't get anything done. And that's one of the reasons that people don't trust government. And I think what Democrats believe going into this year is if they don't get something done on health care, everything falls apart. And that's why they're willing to swallow qualms about any individual portion of the bill.
But that's a desperation act with $1 trillion price tag.
I think it's
Americans aren't going to go for that.
I don't disagree with that. I do think that the chances that health care are going to pass this year did diminish a little bit.
A little bit?
After the election.
A lot.
I think there's no question about it. I think this is going to be a tougher road, and I think you are seeing Democrats like Blanche Lincoln and Mary Landrieu and Ben Nelson throw up a lot of yellow flashing lights to the Democratic leadership, and there's a good chance that this will not get done before the Christmas break.
I think that's right. George Stephanopolos, everyone. Thanks, George. We appreciate it. Directly ahead, gay marriage crashes and burns in Maine, and in Illinois, a stunning abortion turnaround. Laura Ingraham will analyze right after these messages.